On August the 26th, 2025, a tragic incident unfolded at the summer carnival in Prince Rupert, British Columbia. What was supposed to be a routine night for workers and a fun night for families quickly turned into something far more serious when 43-year-old Robert James Nickerson, an employee with Shooting Star Amusements, was involved in a fatal accident near one of the Midway's most recognisable rides, the Zipper. The details of what happened spread quickly through the small community, leaving people shocked and searching for answers. With the carnival cancelled and a case pending, people wanted to know what exactly happened on that day. Well, let's talk about it. This is the story of the Zipper disaster and the death of Robert Nickerson. Robert James Nickerson was born on September the 9th, 1981 in Halifax, Nova Scotia. He was the son of Wayne Nickerson and the late Valerie Nickerson and grew up surrounded by a large, close and deep connected family. Robert was the brother of Kenny McFarlane, Terry Parker and Nicole Doyle, and from an early age he was known as someone who brought a warmth and laughter into every room he entered. To his nieces and nephews, Robert was more than just an uncle. He was a constant presence in their life, someone who showed up, supported them, and took pride in every milestone they reached. Family members have described him as the type of person who connected instantly with children, and whose joy in being part of their lives never faded. Outside of family, Robert built strong bonds wherever he went. Friends described him as loyal, honest, and someone you could rely on no matter what the situation. For his co-workers at Shooting Star Amusements, he wasn't just part of the staff, he was considered family. Many of them worked with him and travelled with him across different towns and events. They remember him for his big heart, easy smile, and the steady presence he brought to every shift. His employer, Justin Wagner, said Robert had a way of making everyone feel welcome, whether they were guests stepping onto a ride or new employees joining the team. He loved to travel, adventure, and meet new people, and for those that knew him, they said that he lived life on his own terms. Even when life presented challenges, he met them with resilience and determination. Those close to him often mentioned the same thing. He always showed up for the people he loved, and never failed to make those around him feel cared for. In the days leading up to the Prince Rupert event, Robert had been doing what he loved most, working alongside his team, getting the rides ready, and preparing for another busy weekend. The carnival had brought Shooting Star Amusements back to the city once again, setting up along the waterfront with its familiar collection of rides, games, and food stands. The Prince Rupert Summer Carnival is part of a long tradition of travelling amusement events in British Columbia. Operated by companies like Shooting Star Amusements, these carnivals bring ride, games and food vendors to communities for a limited time each year. Each stop requires a significant effort from travelling crews who set up the rides, maintain equipment, and ensure the safety of every guest. Employees like Robert Nickerson played a crucial role in keeping the carnival running smoothly, working long hours under challenging conditions to bring the events to life. Among the attractions at Prince Rupert's carnival was the Zipper, one of Midway's most recognisable and intense rides. The Zipper is a large, oblong frame that rotates vertically whilst the individual compartments attached to it spin independently. Each compartment holds one or two riders, secured by a metal cage, and swings freely as the ride rotates. It has been a popular draw at carnival since its invention in the 1960s, known for the strong, unpredictable spins that make it both exciting and at times dangerous. While safety standards and inspections are required, the ride's fast-moving parts and spinning cages mean that operators and workers must exercise constant caution. At the Prince Rupert event, the Zipper was set up along the main midway, surrounded by other rides and food stalls. It always attracted a large crowd, and was considered one of the star attractions of the show. Now, just before we get into the incident, whilst researching this, I came across an insane story that happened a few months prior on the exact same ride. In May 2025, the British Columbia Technical Safety Team investigated an accident at a carnival in Port Hardy, in which a 9-year-old child was helping operate the ride when an intoxicated woman fell from a carriage, breaking several bones. The report stated that the ride had been activated prematurely during unloading, which ejected the unsecured rider onto the ground below. Investigators noted that intoxicated patrons were a common problem at carnivals, and that the child attendant, left temporarily in charge whilst their father, the carnival foreman, had stepped away, was not confident or experienced enough to prevent the incident. The report also highlighted that the ride's attendants, by that I mean the actual attendants and not the child, had no formal training on handling intoxicated passengers, and the zipper lacked a mechanical override to prevent activation when restraints were open. On the night of August the 26th, 2025, the Prince Rupert Summer Carnival was in full swing. The midway was busy with rides spinning and families moving from one attraction to the next. Among the carnival staff working that night was Robert James Nickerson. Robert was on deck of the zipper performing his duties when something went terribly wrong. According to eyewitness accounts, Robert was attending to the ride when part of the zipper struck him right in the head, causing him to fall down. Emergency services were called immediately, but despite their efforts, he was pronounced dead, and shortly after, Madonna Saunderson, a spokesperson for the emergency services, said, despite efforts of emergency health services, the man was later pronounced deceased. Another witness was a young girl. Her mother, Cynthia Barnaby, stated that her daughter witnessed the incident and it left her traumatized. According to her, she was at the front of the line when she saw Robert seemingly walk out onto the deck to clear something up or pick something up. It was here that he was struck in the head by the ride at full speed. It happened so quick. News of his death spread quickly through the carnival and the wider community, leaving co-workers, friends and residents shocked. Witnesses described the scene as chaotic. Whilst the ride's rotations continued, passengers called out for help, and staff rushed to respond. Those on site were left in shock, many of them having seen Robert alive and enjoying himself just moments before. In the immediate aftermath of his death, both Technical Safety and Shooting Star Amusements agreed to shut down the zipper indefinitely. The ride would remain closed until a thorough review of its operation, safety protocols, and staff training could be completed. Shooting Star Amusements also cancelled the remainder of its scheduled dates in Prince Rupert. Investigation into the incident involved multiple agencies. WorkSafe British Columbia focused on the personnel operating the ride, whilst TSBC examined the machinery itself to determine whether it had been functioning correctly and whether staff had been properly trained. The British Columbia Coroner's Service conducted its own review, though officials stated that they could not release further details due to the restrictions under the British Columbia Coroners Act. The city of Prince Rupert issued a statement expressing deep sadness and providing support services for anyone affected. The day after the incident, dozens of residents gathered at the carnival site to mourn and grieve. There was a healing ceremony that included prayers to help the community process the sudden loss. Justin Wagner, owner and CEO of Shooting Star Amusements, set up a GoFundMe to support Robert's family in Nova Scotia. In his statement he said, "Robert was so much more than an employee. He was family to all of us at Shooting Star. With his big heart, unforgettable smile, and steady presence at the Ferris wheel, Robert had a way of making everyone feel welcome. He loved his work and the people around him, and that joy was felt by every guest and co-worker he met." The campaign has raised $13,675 Canadian dollars at time of recording, and a link to contribute will be included in the description. Wagner added, "This is our way of honouring the incredible person he was and ensuring his family can celebrate his life with the dignity and love he deserves. Any contribution, big or small, will make a difference. If you aren't able to give, even sharing this page helps us more than you know." Friends and co-workers shared similar sentiments. Ray Jones described Nickerson as his best friend and brother, remembering him as a loyal and trustworthy man. Whilst investigations continue, the closure of the zipper and the widespread attention to the incident has already sparked discussions about ride safety, staff training, and oversight in travelling carnivals. I hope the family soon get the answers they need, and as soon as there is an update to this story, I'll be sure to let everyone know. May Robert rest in peace. As always, this is not an AI channel, I do everything myself, so if you appreciate my work, subscribe, and if you want to go that extra step to support the channel, maybe consider becoming a member. Let me know what you think about this case in the comments below, and as always, thank you for watching.